Today I played Crusadia, Guardragon, Kaiju, whatever, with Hulk shenanigans. Basically, yeah. So, and I got 5th, but I was tied for 3rd, but then because of matchups was 5th. So anyway, so you play pretty much the standards Crusadias.
Flip them so that the camera can see it.
Yep, that makes sense. So, so there are 5, and then they have a World Legacy that's basically their 6th one. I ordered them here based on pretty much the level of goodness in the deck they are. So your best one's Draco. It adds 1 back, and then enables the whole Guardragon part of Crusadia Guardragon. Arborea is second best. She's a tuner, which lets you get into Needle Fiber or Halka Fibrax shenanigans. Also, it has a protection effect in Grave. If a Crusadia would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish it to protect, which came up a lot. Reclusia is okay. It pops itself an opponent's card. It can get you out of certain situations. You can actually use Arborea in Grave to protect when you pop this, so you can just pop your opponent's thing for free, so that actually works out really well. Maximus, I only had 2. He's pretty good. He can double battle damage. He enabled me to do 7,600 at one point. But that's still not game, so it's not. I mean, it's all right, I guess. Leonis just kind of sucks. He lets you do piercing, but there's no other good things about him. I guess he's an Earth, so if you had an Earth tuner off Needle Fiber, you could make like Knot Beast. But other than that, he's kind of trash. And then this one, if this was a Crusadia, and if it was like level 4 or lower, it'd be the best one, hands down. Well, 2nd or maybe 3rd behind these 2, but it protects you from monster special summon from the extra deck, so it's really, really good going 2nd, and it's really good to stick under Equimax, which gains attack. It's their big boss monster, so it puts Equimax at 4,000, so it's really good. But that was for those. I'd probably play a 3rd Maximus. If you were going to cut anything, I'd maybe cut down on Leonis, because it's just the worst one, but you generally just want to see Crusadias in hand. So next we run the next best thing to a Crusadia, which is 4-Mud Skipper. It lets you search a level 5 or higher Cyberse when it's linked off, which in this case was always Parallel Exceed. I thought about, there's one called Scriptron, which can banish the Cyberse, so you banish this to special it out, but I just thought Parallel Exceed was better. The main thing you do with this is you reveal a Crusadia extra deck monster, so you can go into their link, their link 1, which is Magius, and then it triggers it, and then you get to add Parallel Exceed. It doesn't trigger right away. You have to, it's on the next, once it's in your hand when you link summon, you're good. It won't like remember that you just linked summon, so. But anyway, so that's those. And then the card that I think actually worked out pretty well, was surprised to see, was Jester Confit. It's a level 1 that can special summon itself out from your hand, no questions asked. You don't need any, there's no other conditions, it's not a hard once per turn at all, as long as you just don't control another one of itself. So it's really good for situations like, say your normal summon gets outed and you can't get to your links, you can special this, make a link 1 and start doing Crusadia stuff still. And it lets you do stuff out of order, which is really nice. Like how I talked about Crown has a negation earlier. If you have Crown on the board and you want to keep your negation, you can special this and then make your link in a different column so you can still do special summoning to it. So it actually worked out really well. And it's really good because it's not essential. It's just an extra extender, so you can side it out. It's like always your go-to side out card while still being good enough to play. And then I was going first, but just in case, you run 3 hand traps, so you run Triple Ash, you run Triple Veiler, or Double Veiler. They're both good. I ran Veiler over Imperm, because I have 2 and 2. I ran Veiler over Imperm because it's a tuner and it's a monster in level 1, so you can make Link Revo. If for some reason you just don't have the Crusadia stuff, you can normal summon this, or like you can normal summon this and then the Jester Confit, make Needle Fiber, and then start going off. So the fact that it's a monster comes up sometimes. But I feel like not enough, so maybe I'd probably swap it out for Imperm at a later date. And then we've got Red MD, and that's just with the Guardragon package. Yeah, self-explanatory. It got errated, so this is not the errated version, but I played with the errata. If it wasn't errated, this deck would be insane. As it stands, it's still good enough extender. And then you play the one Gamma Seal. Biggest win con of this deck is you get enough stuff on board to where you can make Saryuja, and you stick a bunch of counters off the field and make and you get Waterfront live. Search it, special with Saryuja. This thing is Omni Negates that banish, and it's not once per turn anyway at all, just based on how many counters. So you can basically negate twice for sure, and then if a monster leaves the field, you get a third negate off of it, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. Just a really good card. And also, it makes it that your field can't get Kaiju'd, so that's pretty nice too. So yeah, there's that, and then Terraforming to search the go to Waterfront. Triple Called By. It just stops hand traps. It stops a lot of key interactions if you know your opponent's deck. The biggest fear of this deck is going up against getting locked out of your extra deck. I've had it where if you have Herodic Spheres, they tribute it to summon out Morphage. You can chain this and banish the Spheres in Grave, and it's really, really good. I love Called by the Grave. I think Called by the Grave has so much utility, and it can just win games by itself if you know what to do. Reborn basically makes it that if you only open one Crusadia, you're not dead in the water. You can just Reborn back to Crusadia. It's just always good. Bring back Gamma Seal if you want to link it off, if you have the shield spell. Same thing, Succession. It's a monster reborn, it's a little bit worse, but it's searchable off of their first trap card, which is Crusadia Crawler. Special summon to a link zone, add the Succession. It works out pretty well. And then I run 2 trap hole cards. This is because I play Rafflesia in the extra deck. This protects you from Nibiru and other hand traps, and actually a lot of other stuff. And then this is if, for some reason, if your opponent summons something big, if they're going to run over Rafflesia or just anything, you can set their card face down. Really good in this day and age if your opponent's a link deck, can't link with a face down monster. So, all right. In the extra deck, we run double Magius. Magius is just a great card. It searches you any Crusadia when you summon one to it, get your whole engine together. That then combos into Spatha, which gets your Guardragon going on. So summon LP to the Spatha zone, move it over, and then you get to use LP effect. So works out really well. 1 Regulex into 1 Equimax. These 2 cards are really good because you can use them to play around Dark Ruler, which not a lot of combo decks can do. You use Regulex to search this, and if you have any Crusadia pointing here, they activate Dark Ruler, you chain this to interrupt it, and then Equimax just targets a face-up card, so you can negate the Dark Ruler, and it's really nice. And then the chain, even if you had another monster here, you can still activate it. This opens up, and then you bring it to the chain here, search Succession. So it's really good. This is your only source of comeback potential in the deck, because if your board gets outed, you're pretty much dead. So we got those, and then Needle Fiber and Link Cross. They're just really good. There's actually a lot. Link Cross actually helps the deck a lot because a lot of times you'll make Regulex under Saryuja, and you need to summon a monster to its zone. So you can turn the Saryuja into Needle Fiber, and then, or not even that, say you already have something up here. You can just turn whatever link monster into this. That triggers this here, so you can get your search, and then you can just turn these right into Equimax. So it's just really nice. And then obviously you get the tokens that you can make into Synchros and whatever. And then, yeah, Hulk, Needle Fiber, Goad card. Saryuja that you summon off your Guardragon combo. You try the best you can to hit Waterfront. If you don't hit Waterfront, you can pivot and use Link Cross to go into a Synchro play and Needle Fiber. Because if you haven't hit your Gamma Seal, you've most likely hit an Ash or a Veiler or Spatha. You can special summon, make Needle Fiber, and start doing that way. Also, this card, the fact that Dragon came up a lot of times I'd do my whole Red MD combo, keep going in the game, and then I would get to a point where I could summon back Red MD, summon back Saryuja, and that's just a ton of damage, 5,600 damage on board. One All Mirage and one Link Karibo. This is, if you, in the case you have to normal summon Ash or normal summon Veiler, and you can get your Link Arrow. Same thing, Link 1, so it's just nice. It's good against Dino, because you can just link away their token, they don't get to keep it. The most busted Link monster in the game, Access Code Talker. This card's just stupid. Your opponent can't respond to the summon because you target a Link monster that you summon with it, which a lot of times is Equamax, so it goes up to 5,300. Or you can even use Saryuja on it, and then in 6,300. And you play so many different attributes. Usually, you've almost always got these two, so that's dark there. You get Needle Fiber in there, that's light, that's 3, and then Saryuja, that's earth. So like off the bat, you can usually have like 4 pops when you summon this guy that your opponent can't respond to, and it's just cracked. I probably stole maybe 2-3 games with this guy. He's just insane. All right, and then wrapping it up, the 2 XYZs, Rafflesia, which you summon off Parallel Exceed to protect you from Nibiru, and Exciton Knight. It only came up once today, but it's just the best comeback card ever. I used it to blow up. My opponent had 9 total cards on their field, and I just blew them all up. He didn't take damage, but like, he just lost 9 cards. He's not going to win. So it ended up pretty good. And then the one of Herald. Herald's just the easiest to make with the... It's the easiest and best thing you can make off of Link Cross and Needle Fiber. Because Arborea is level 3. So you just make the level 1 token and then the 3 and you make Herald. And Herald is just good. It's Herald. Macrocosmos from main deck or grave, and it's just great. Side deck. I played double Imperm, and I would pretty much, when I wasn't going first, always side these in over the Veiler, because you get the extra card, so you don't necessarily need it to be a monster anymore. Triple Reboot. I only sided it in once against Jacob, going second, and I didn't see it, and then I sided out game 3 because I went first again. So didn't help me at all. So I played Dark Ruler, Triple Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler is just stupid. It is just a free win against certain decks, especially when you draw 2 of them. Yeah, it was just really good. And then I played Triple Slumber and a Kumungus and a Gadarla to go along with the Gamma Seal that's already in the deck. Just blowing up their field is so nice. This gives you recursion, or lets you get to a kaiju later. Also, if they say you have like one of these in hand, and then you can search Gamma Seal with the Waterfront, give them one, and then you can just summon Gamma Seal to your side, and it's really good. The best one to give is Kumungus, because Kumungus is like one of the few kaijus that doesn't have a proactive removal of counters effect. It's when monsters are summoned, so like you summon this, they summon you summon your Gamma Seal, they attempt to negate, you negate with yours, remove it right away. So, really good card. And then the last 2 cards are Crusadia Revival and Link Karibo. This is generally you side it out for Rafflesia because you'll side out the trap holes going second. And you can make it using the 4-month skipper, or you can use Parallel Exceed. It's really just good against certain trap decks. Yeah, it's just a pretty good card. And then Crusadia Power, it never came up, but the idea is that if you Dark Ruler, you can activate this, and then your Crusadia monster or Equamax or whatever can hit all their monsters if they got a big field. It just lets you, they attack everything, so it lets you clear boards. And that's pretty much it. if I would change anything, probably wouldn't play this deck. It's honestly, like we sent in our chosen decks, and I was like, kind of wish I played Generaids. I feel like it would just be so different.
That's what all of us were expecting.
I was expecting that as well.
The reason I didn't play Generaids is the same reason I didn't play Orcus, and that I just didn't want to buy Gear Shoes, and without Gear Shoes, the deck just isn't as good. Like, it's okay, but just knowing that there's a better version of it out there, I was just like, I don't know. I thought this basically satisfied like a ton of stuff that I've always liked about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never done Guardragon stuff. I just wanted to mess with it. I always thought summoning out Gamma Seal with Waterfront was like super hype. Parallel Exceed is a cool card, making Rafflesia. Like, it's all stuff that I got a long time ago. I just never had the opportunity to use, and I was like, you know, I bought this Rafflesia. I want to use it. Like, I've got Gamma Seal and Waterfront. I want to use it. So, I don't know. All in all, having an in-deck out to Dark Ruler and Nibiru is fun. It just means your deck isn't always going to be able to make it. Yeah, this deck has no comeback ability if you get broken. So, probably going to go with something else next year, but I had fun, so.
Good.
Thanks,
Very
everybody.
nice.
Atta baby!